I read a story earlier about kids playing D&D and what a great time it was. So now, let's see what a great time it will be with a group of 13-year-olds. Let's throw another log on the fire. So this happened around September of 2020. I was in a new apartment building as a 23-year-old, and the kids of the building always said hi to me or tried talking to me about stuff, since I talked to them like they were intelligent creatures and not babies like other adults. Well, eventually one of the kids asked me if I played D&D, and I told him how I DM a few games and played during college fairly frequently. He then asked me to DM for him and his 3 friends, all 13 or so, and all boys. And with their parents' permission, I did so in the common area of my floor. It was a D&D 5e game. Quick aside, their parents didn't require masks, but I wore one, and frankly, I should have taken it as a bad omen. Also, I'm going to avoid mentioning all the times I had to explain what to roll and add, and just act like they knew for the sake of the story. To start, the table seemed like they were definitely into wanting to hit stuff more and less into role-playing or having a balanced party. To counteract this, I fudged some numbers and moved some things around item-wise to give them what I thought would be a fair number of healing potions and stuff to avoid needing boring healers. In the end, the party had 1 half-orc barbarian, 1 human fighter, 1 Goliath barbarian, and 1 dragon fighter. I had to convince them to not all be barbarians and to take different races just to try and spark some sort of creativity. Luckily, they didn't care too much. Well, after session 0 and explaining the rules and how it'll be a lot of puzzles and even more fighting, we started session 1. You'll never guess where they started. In the tavern, I had placed a bulletin board with a bunch of jobs that they could take depending on what sounded interesting. In reality, it was just a bunch of dungeons that I had saved from other games scaled to their level 1 characters. So what's the first thing they do upon entering said tavern? Investigation check. Wow, awesome. They know how to do things besides fighting stuff. Okay, what are you investigating? I want to see if there are any women here. Okay, yeah. Roll investigation. He rolled a 19. Yes, you see a few women amongst the men sitting at tables, and you see a small halfling woman carrying maid and ale to the tables. Which ones have a giant chest? All of them, in some way, repeat the same question. You can't tell for the patrons since they are wearing some form of armor or something that covers their chest. Nor can you tell for the barmaid. In reality, I had no idea about the sizes. It felt creepy even thinking about saying anything about them, and I wanted to avoid getting yelled at by angry mothers. Whatever, can I talk to the halfling? Sure, but why do you want to? The bulletin board is on the wall facing the bar. That's what has your potential quest. Now I'm sure that was too railroady, but I saw what was coming as I used to be a 13-year-old boy, and I really just wanted to avoid it. I could not. I want to seduce her. The others all want to do some form of the same thing. Fine, you can try. How do you each do it? Now my idea here was simple. They'd have no idea what to do and would drop the attempt. This method worked on the Goliath and human, but the half-orc and dragonborn didn't back down. I'll start with the dragonborn.
Where are the other women in the tavern?
There are 3 women all sitting at different tables. 1 tiefling, a human, and a half-orc. They all seem focused on their drinks.
I approach the human. I sit down next to her and say,
She immediately interrupts you and asks who you think you are.
I say, it's okay, relax. I'm just a dragon looking for a princess to guard in my tower. Will you be that princess?
Now, for the life of me, I have zero idea where he came up with that pickup line. I asked him to roll. He rolled a 5. She looks at you with a combination of confusion and anger.
If you don't move your scaly butt away from me, I'll turn your skin into my newest set of armor. Aw, that's dumb. Can I get another chance?
Not unless you want to fight her.
Can I try with another girl?
After the orc. Okay, orc, what's your move here? I want to go up to the bar and ask the barmaid to share a drink with me. Fine. She responds with,
I'm flattered, but you're not quite my type. You're a bit green.
I then had to explain that green means new and that it was a joke about him being a rookie and an orc. A great joke unappreciated by young people. Oh, come on. I bet I can show you I'm exactly your type. Now I want to roll to seduce. Fine, roll. At this point, he rolled and quickly picked up his die after doing so, saying he rolled a nat 20. I said that since I didn't see the roll, I couldn't believe it. I asked him to roll again and allow me time to see the roll. This caused a brief argument about fairness and resulted in me saying that a roll would be counted as a nat 1 if picked up before I had a chance to see it. So he unhappily agrees and rolls a 15 with modifiers. Not bad. She smiles at you and says,
My type isn't you, sweetie. It's standing behind the bar, pouring the drinks,
as she flashes you the ring on her finger. Fine, then I want to grab her and pull her into me. I want to ask for a kiss. The others continue asking me in some form or another to do more with other women. The Dragonborn requested the human specifically. Listen guys, I like role-playing, but you guys are asking to be pretty creepy right now. I don't want to fully stop you from role-playing, but I'm warning you, this won't end well.
No, this is a good idea. My dad says that women like a man who doesn't take no for an answer. I want to go for the tiefling and ask her to join me for the night.
I roll an attack and say she slaps you for 2 points of damage. What about mine when I ask her for a kiss? Make a strength check. He does and rolls an 18. He won and actually held on to her. She struggles and tries to get away, asking you to let her go as her husband yells at you, asking what you are doing. You other two roll checks as well. The other two fail and get pushed or slapped. So the only one who still has their woman is the orc with the halfling. The tavern is realizing that you are all causing problems and start yelling at you to stop and get out. The halfling is still struggling against your grip and is yelling at you to drop her. Personally, guys, I suggest you apologize and regroup. This isn't looking good. No, it's fine. I scream internally. I say, fine, we're leaving, and I try to run out the tavern with the halfling in my grip. What? Why? That's kidnapping. That's not a good idea, dude.
She'll be like a pet. We can use her.
He said use in a way that very clearly indicated them forcibly having their way with her.
Yeah, she'll learn to like us. We'll show her what happens to people who insult us.
Fine. You stand up and attempt to run out of the tavern with the halfling screaming. As you do this, a number of patrons stand up and stand in front of the door. They are blocking it and calling for the guards. I yell at them to back away as I draw my axe. He rolls for intimidation and fails. They don't back down.
Can I rip her shirt off?
What? No, the orc has her. You can't get to her. Fine, then I'll do it. No, I won't allow that. You're holding a halfling with a room full of gruff adventuring types and guards on the way. Stop the kidnapping and try to work things out. I promise it won't go well any other way. No, I turn around and run into the back room somewhere. I want to make her mine. Okay, the fan officially has poop on it. The others actually agree and start saying how 4-on-1 they should win easily. But fine. Play with fire, get burned. Fine. As you turn to find a back room, 5 town guards rush in and tell you to stop immediately. Pick your next move wisely.
I'ma hit him with my fire breath to kill them while we run to the back room.
Okay, I'll give you that one first. Everyone, roll for initiative.
Wait, why won't my fire breath kill everyone? It's fire.
Nope, it does 2d6 damage if they fail their saving throw. And I'm telling you right now, that's not going to kill anyone here.
Well, I use it anyway. Let's go.
So at this point, it's 4v13, and the guards are 3rd level while the patrons range from 3rd to 5th. The fire attack hits 6 people, 4 of whom roll successfully. So 2 people take 7 damage, the other 4 take 4. In terms of initiative, the party came in 5th, 8th, 10th, and 11th. The party quickly realized they were done for, so what followed was a metric ton of manure. The arguments ranged from how normal women wouldn't scream when grabbed, to how they should have been able to seduce her no problem, to the fact that women want this. I was having none of it at this point. We weren't even 20 minutes in, and I already had a full party of those guys at my table. They all went down quickly without even going through one full round of combat. They were freaking out. Now they were complaining that this was not the game they wanted to play, and that I didn't know what I was doing, nor how women worked in fantasy. I didn't say anything beyond the fact that the way they acted was wrong, that they needed to learn how to properly act not only in D&D, but in real life in general. I know D&D isn't real life, but with the way their arguments went about real life women to try and translate to fantasy women, they needed to learn a lot. I shut down the party that night. Until they mature enough to understand what they did was wrong, I wouldn't DM for them again. Especially considering that they didn't want to do anything that they said they actually wanted to do. I really hope that these kids learn the right way to treat women. They certainly have a long way to go in learning that women are not simply objects that you can use how you please. I guess this story definitely supports the theory that bad guys are most likely just guys who never grew up. What do you all think about this situation?